Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Andor. My gosh, this is the 4th filming day in a row that I am recording an episode of Andor. Last time on Andor, we had Reckoning, where basically the Corpos landed at Ferrix and they went in search of Cassian Andor. However, the town pretty much, well, some of the town was going to delay them. The others, were basically going in and, hiding out, basically. And there was the reveal to Bix that Tim was the one who ratted out Cassian. And then eventually he died. He got shot by one of the Corpos. And, yeah, there was a whole thing where everybody was banging on metal to alert everybody in the town of what was happening. Cassian was meeting with Luthen, who was the buyer, but also a recruiter for the rebellion, which was pretty cool. And in the end, he did recruit Cassian after a shootout. And yeah, basically, the Corpos came in thinking that they were all big stuff, and they were very humbled very quickly. So yeah, this was a loss for Karn and Sergeant Mosk, but we'll have to see where they're going from here, basically. So yeah, that was pretty much it. It was a really good episode, and I'm excited to see where we are going this time. So why don't we just jump right into this episode of Andor? Here we go.
I've been in a Fondor Hallcraft. I've flown them. Never seen one do that.
Well, it's been a day of surprises for all of us.
No. Has he never been to hyperspace?
On my floor.
What's that?
Mad Nog. Just a sip.
Mednog. That's
Perhaps
funny.
you got alternatives. I'm offering you everything you want, all at once.
What is everything I want? Since you know so much about me.
To put a real stick in the eye of the Empire. And get paid for it.
No.
I know the outside. I know what people tell me when I ask.
Well.
The rest I imagine. I imagine your hate. I imagine that no matter what you tell me or tell yourself, you'll ultimately die fighting these bastards. So what I'm asking is this. Wouldn't you rather give it all at once to something real than carve off useless pieces till there's nothing left? I didn't risk my ass for the Starbeth unit. I came for you.
Yeah.
What would we be stealing?
The quarterly payroll for an entire Imperial sector.
Ooh. Interesting. Alright. Oh, Coruscant! Capital of the galaxy. Dude, have we seen Coruscant in the new era? I don't think we have.
I'll expect specifics by the end of the day. Legret, what is this item from Marvalis 6?
Positive developments, sir. The dimensions of the conflict have
Qyburn
diminished
from Game
sufficiently
of Thrones?
that
It looks
mining
like
has
him.
resumed on the
We're here to further security objectives by collecting intelligence, providing useful analysis, and conducting effective covert action, sir.
Very good, Dedra. That is verbatim from the ISB mission statement and wrong. We are healthcare providers. We treat sickness. We identify symptoms. We locate germs, whether they arise from within or have come from the outside. The longer we wait to identify a disorder, the harder it is to treat the disease. Do you understand my meaning, Legret?
Yes, sir.
Don't trouble yourself writing the memorandum. I'll reassign it.
There's an increase in construction shipments going to Scarif, sir.
I bet there is. Alright, Aldhani.
Clem. For the next 5 days, you'll be Clem.
Okay. But his beard, though. But his glorious beard, though.
What is it?
It's a down payment. It's a Quati signet. Blue Kyber, Skystone. The ancient world celebrates the uprising against the Rakatan invaders. Don't take less than 50,000 for it.
No.
Just know it will always be worth more to me. I want it back when this is over. If I live, I want it back.
Interesting.
We go in 3 days.
Increases your chances of success dramatically.
Now, like this. 5 months in, just plug in some new person. It'll tear the team apart.
Well, that's not much of a team, is it?
No.
You'll take him in and lie about how it's come to pass. You plug him in as a replacement for anyone who goes down along the way. For the next 3 days, if for any reason... Look at me! You wanted to lead.
Shit.
This is what it comes to. You got 3 days. Something feels off, something turns. Someone starts to fold. You step up, you lead, you cancel the mission. I need to know you understand.
And if he's the problem?
Well, that's the advantage of renting him. He's disposable.
No. Yeah.
Yes.
Meh. Hate that he's right.
You will leave here and be escorted with haste to the transfer center, where you'll be issued with any personal items the Imperial inspectors have had time to inventory.
Someone's in trouble.
Certify receipts, and no, you will not waste further Imperial time reading the report.
But I've had nothing to do with this.
Meh.
Exactly.
Yeah, this happened under your watch.
It took the combined ingredients of idiocy, ineptitude, and total disengagement for this farce to have reached the full apex of incredulous disaster.
Damn.
Seriously? My files
Yeah, no.
are filled. You've rung the final bell on corporate independence. As of this morning, the Milana system is under permanent Imperial authority. Congratulations on that.
This is why he didn't want you to do anything. Just make up an accident.
Get down, Tuckins!
Whoop. Oh my gosh. God, those TIE fighters are
They won't
sneaky.
be back today. Come on.
Alright then. Cassian's just gotten into a world of trouble, but...
Ensign retrieved a sealed Imperial NS-9 Starpath unit from the site. That is our box from Steerguard.
Has to be.
Right, that gives us jurisdiction. I want you to go to Blevins' office, tell them we need everything they've got on Verix.
It might mean more if you went.
I don't want to spark his interest.
Alright. Interesting. I'm enjoying that there is another side to this story, you know? Ooh, that's gotta feel nice. Huh. He's got a disguise.
What is this place?
That's pretty interesting.
You've been here, what, just over a year? You might want to steady the ladder before you start climbing.
I'm not looking for career advice.
You fall here. You fall alone.
Are you denying my request?
For the second time today.
Fine. I'll take it to Major Partakas.
That doesn't sound like a good idea. Dang it, I didn't catch her name. There's too many new characters. Dang it.
That's Skeen. This is Taramin. Nemik. And Cinta.
There's only so many of those I'm going to be able to remember.
A man.
Can I speak with you?
Let's get Clem settled in.
Good to have you, Clem. We'll take all the help we can get.
Yay, there's one friendly person.
Cinta, feed him.
Yeah, we saw a bit of like an airport in Mandalorian, but I love seeing it here. Presumably this is Coruscant. I gotta say, the world building just on rebuilding worlds, specifically Coruscant, is through the friggin' roof.
Mother.
Nah. Oh. Oh. Okay.
What are you staring at?
He's committed. I'm feeling that. I want to.
Feel what?
His belief in the cause. When it comes down to it, that's all I need to know.
He hasn't spoken a word, and you feel that?
Senator Mon Mothma's here.
Oh, shit.
Senator, what a pleasure to see you.
You as well, Luthen. Sorry to be so late. It's always right when you're leaving, everyone remembers all the things they meant to bother you with.
Free your mind, Senator. This is a place where time stands still. It's hard being surrounded with this much history and not be humbled by the insignificance of our daily anxiety.
So this is his cover. I get you.
I put aside a few things. If I recall, he has an interest in military artifacts.
Yes.
So let's start with the oldest one. It's a Udapawan monk cudgel. You see the ceremonial variety in many places, but this is the real thing.
Oh, sweet history stuff.
But
I'm trying to expand parents' taste beyond fighting implements. Is there anything else that might interest you?
well, your timing is excellent. I have something very special that just came in. Come with me.
Oh, I love that armor in the back.
14,000 years old.
And a serpent from the overworld sharing the same mouth. If you can't deliver, I need to know.
Do you think I'm not trying?
Ah, there's that cover.
I need to start planning if you...
I found someone I think can help me.
Someone who? To bring into the circle? No.
I know what I'm asking.
No. We're vulnerable enough. We need funding, not more people to worry about.
Don't lecture me on vulnerability. No one's more at risk than I am. You think I haven't thought this through? I'd be the first one to fall.
But I trust you'll have the courage to turn back. It should be a bit much.
I appreciate that. You'll be here?
Well, if not, Clea can always reach me. Clea, can we have this wrapped for the senator?
Man, I love this cover. I mean, somebody has a store. It's a front for, you know, for his rebellion stuff, but somebody has a store of antiques. When do you see this in Star Wars? They're just building things. Oh, I love it.
I should have been consulted.
On that we agree.
Clem,
this is Lieutenant Gorn. He's our contact at the garrison.
Wounded, on top of it.
On top of what?
On top of being someone I've never met who suddenly got my neck in their hands.
I know the feeling.
Are we done?
Who is he?
He's Clem. He's here. That's all that
he's
matters.
Clem.
We're wasting daylight.
Bars, Danger, Sly Moore from the Vizier's private chamber?
Is that a problem?
You can't be serious. These people hate me. They spend every day trying to undo anything I've touched.
Well, perhaps tomorrow they'll think twice.
Not right now, please. Go.
Yeah, hustle.
Don't seat them near me.
Oh, I've taken care of that. You're at the boring end of the table. These people are fun.
Oh, are they? Are they fun?
No.
Oh, we should find some Gorman guests for tonight and see how amused they are.
Her
Your
political
fun friends just cut off their
adversaries.
shipping lanes yesterday. Don't do this again.
Yeah, like.
There's rumor you bought me a present.
It's going back.
Must everything be boring and sad?
Well, they have a good relationship. I mean, bruh, her political adversaries.
They'd hike for weeks to get here just to see it from the sacred land.
To see what?
Imagine 50 meteor showers all at once. Like a curtain being pulled across the sky.
That's your cover.
Yes. Gets us in, gets us out. They won't know where we came from, and if we can beat the clock, we'll be gone before they even know what happened. Now, you've got a lot to learn and very little time to do it, so what we need to know is, are you in all the way?
Let's get to it.
Alright. That's a hell of an idea.
I'm seeing signs of coordinated activity over a number of sectors.
What activity?
Similar items of interest, repeated methods, gut instinct.
You came to us from enforcement.
Yes, sir.
Here, we act on vetted and verified information.
No.
Alert me when this materializes into something more definite. Until then, confine future activities to your sectors. Thank you, Lieutenant.
Fucking lieutenant.
He does, I will admit, hew to the traditional viewpoint of this office and its staffing. He is, I'm sure, a challenge to work with.
No.
His quarterly reports, however, are in, and yours are not, and here we are spending your valuable time with this issue. On a positive note, I was impressed with your detention numbers from Sev Tok. Far above the quota. I may be sending more of that sort of work your way.
Thank you, sir.
No.
We're done.
Alright. So it's not all bad, I guess.
That's the Rono freighter specs and the console layout. You get done with that? That's a detailed map of the garrison. That's an Aldhani phrase book.
Can I eat my food?
No.
You'll eat, you'll let Cinta check the bandage, and you'll have learned all that by morning. I'll take the first watch.
Alright then. Cassian has a lot of homework. Oh, is that just it? Oh, okay then. It's an interesting sort of place to cut the episode. Alright, one second. I gotta finish off a couple notes. God, I do not have enough space for everything today. I'll just have to leave it at that. Alright. And then... I'm really trying to squeeze stuff in today on this note sheet. Alrighty, episode 4. You know, I heard some speculation that that it's possible, judging by the first 3 episodes, that what we might be getting over the course of these 2 seasons is very similar to what we had in the Clone Wars, where it's like, 3 or 4 episodes which make an arc, And if that is the case, I'm actually all for that. And honestly, this has been really interesting, This has honestly been one of the more interesting Star Wars things recently, So yeah, that I could be really down for. So this whole thing with the armory and everything being a particular arc, I could deal with that. I could definitely deal with that. Now, I don't necessarily need to look up an actor. I did want to look up the character's name, the Imperial security agent, because I wrote down Miro, but I don't know if that's the name of her or the other guy who was causing a fuss. And also, I do want to look up the commander there, though I'm 100% positive I know that that's Qyburn from Game of Thrones, but I'll look him up anyway. Huh. I'm on the right episode. Okay. Okay. So I've encountered a problem. None of them are credited. I'm going to go off of the fact that the day I'm recording this is the day the episode went up, so I also see Nemec. Nemec is credit only, and that's the one guy who's okay with Cassian being there. And yeah, no. Also, Bix is credited, but she ain't in this episode. So I'm going to say that they have not updated the IMDb cast list for this episode, but I'm 100% positive that that is Qyburn from Game of Thrones. Let me just set this down. And what I will simply do is I will go back to a scene where they did say her name, and I will see if I can find it. So, give me a sec. Dedra, that was it. Not Miro. Okay, so Miro must have been the guy. I'm going to just kind of cross that out. Dedra, okay. That was driving me nuts the whole time, so. Alrighty. So. Interesting stuff. Very, very interesting stuff. Okay. It's really interesting because I like that. I like just how many characters have now been introduced, Like, the carryover from the last arc, basically, is Cassian and Luthen. And Luthen was really only in the last episode, you know? But that's really the carryover. Everything else, though, is kind of done. Like, we don't have Marva, we don't have any of Cassian's buddies, we don't have Bix, we don't have that. But then the other holdover is Karn. And I really like that. And I like that kind of seems, at least for the moment, it seems like that's going to be the three sort of facets of the show, or at the very least the facets that we're going to see over the next couple episodes. That we have Luthen and how he's trying to, you know, organize these different rebel actions, and he's also now dealing. You know, we see him at his cover story with Mon Mothma, and then we see Cassian actually on these rebel missions, and then we get to see Karn and his, I guess, basically the consequences of his actions, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I am like way down for that, you know? I'm way down for that. But yeah, so we start off with more of the, I guess, sort of recruitment of, you know, Luthen trying to convince Cassian to really join the rebellion, you know? And I like that, you know, I like how he says, you know, I know your history, you know, I know what people tell me about you, but everything else, you know, I know the surface. I know you on a surface level. Everything else I imagine, you know? But that is enough to get him to bring in Cassian, which is pretty cool. So Cassian, at the very least, this is going to be a trial run. So I would imagine it's like, hey, at least try this out. And if you still want to go, you know, I'll give you the 200,000 and you'll be on your way, you know? But he is banking on Cassian after this mission being like, all right, I'll stick around. I'll join the rebellion, you know? So yeah. So I like that. That was really cool. And then we get Vel joining in this mission with Val. And yeah, it is pretty crazy. It is pretty crazy that you're just supposed to bring in some new person right at the end of an operation and, you know, hope it works out, you know? But this will be a good proving ground for Cassian. This will show, you know, it'll basically prove, you know, what he's worth, basically. And I like that. And I like that, you know, but of course, it's not just, I like that this does show, I don't want to say like the darker side, but maybe the harsher side of the rebellion, you know? Because we'll see, you know, we see a bunch of other, you know, rebel cells like on Rebels or with Luke Skywalker or something, but Cassian is definitely in the harsher part of the rebellion, you know? And just the interaction between Luthen and Vel there, you know, but also the fact that he's right. They do need another hand, you know? They do need another person. They need a pilot like Cassian. And yeah, it's either you take him or this whole mission is shut down, you know? So yeah, I really enjoyed that. Just that interaction. And yeah, Vel, she just has to, you know, gotta do it. And now Cassian has his homework, which is interesting. But I like this idea, this whole event that happens on Aldhani. And yeah, everybody gathers and you see this crazy thing happening in the sky. And while everybody's distracted, we go in and we get the payroll. And yeah, a payroll for an entire Imperial sector, which is pretty crazy. So, and Cassian, so far, I would say Cassian is blending in pretty well, you know? At first I was concerned, like, oh man, are you questioning too much? But I mean, he's questioning the right amount, you know? But, and so far, I mean, the team is pretty, I would say, pretty standard. I'm sure we'll get to know them more over the next couple episodes. But I do like that whole team, and I like. Oh dang it! We just looked that up. But what was it, Kellic or something? It wasn't. It was like I don't remember. But the one guy who was asleep on job. I do like him. It's interesting how he can like feel. It almost makes you wonder. It's like, is he even the slightest bit Force sensitive, or is he just good at reading people? You know, it could just be that. You know, I would almost hope that there is like little to no Jedi Force stuff in this show. You know, because I mean, we get a bit of that in Rogue One with Chirrut Imwe, where it's like, oh, you know, I'm one with the Force and the Force is with me. But for the most part, like, aside from, I mean, it's I don't know, it does exist within the Rebellion, because not only do you get Luke, who, you know, was for like 5 minutes being trained by Obi-Wan, and, you know, Bail Organa specifically sends for Obi-Wan when they're doing this whole Death Star thing, but also the fact that the Rebellion is also built on Kanan and Ezra, you know? Which, oh god, now I just want to go rewatch Rebels. Dang it. I want to go rewatch Rebels, you know? That would be so cool, because I know they're gearing up for Ahsoka, which I believe is going to be about Ahsoka and Sabine looking for Ezra and Grand Admiral Thrawn. I would absolutely love cameos by the Rebel crew. Heck, you could bring in Ahsoka at some point, you know? Just, not even just for a while, but just like for a cameo or something, or just one episode. I'd really enjoy that if they did do that, because yeah, you know, it's not in Rebels. While Cassian Andor is not in Rebels, you could do some crossover here, you know? So yeah, that would be pretty cool. Or if we got Rex or someone like that, I would love to see some more, just to sort of tie these a bit closer together, you know? Because these are two shows about the Rebellion 5 years before the Death Star, you know? So I would like there to be a little bit of crossover there, you know? But we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, so I'm definitely into this team and everything. And yeah, it definitely feels like a Clone Wars arc. Like, all right, you know, we had the first 3 episodes as an arc, and now we're going to have these 3 or 4 episodes to be another arc. So I'm really down for that. I think that's a really good idea, you know? Because, yeah, I mean, that's the thing with, like, The Mandalorian or the Book of Boba Fett. It's like, you can't really, at least I can't really point out, like, specific episodes, you know? Maybe Book of Boba Fett is not a good example, because, yeah, there is a very specific episode. It's the Mandalorian episode. But in the Mandalorian, it's like, well, you know, it's just a bunch of things that happen, and they're all great, but you can't pick out specific story arcs or specific episodes. It's like, it's all just a story, basically, you know? Or maybe you can. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking out my ass, but that always tends to occur, so oh well. But yeah, so I'm more into this of, like, you know, just doing specific arcs, you know? And I kind of wish the Bad Batch had done that a bit. Maybe they will in the second season, but they were more of kind of one-off-ish episodes with one central, you know, overarching story. But I do kind of wish they had a bit more of that, you know? So, granted, I really like Star Wars Rebels, and they didn't really have that, you know? So, yeah. Then we were also introduced to Dedra in the Imperial Security Bureau, which was pretty interesting. I like that. So this is the first time in these 4 episodes that we see Imperials, you know, and that's really cool. So yeah, and we saw Coruscant. I don't think we've seen Coruscant at all since the Disney era, you know. Just Coruscant has just been completely just abandoned, you know? Because, I mean, even in the sequel trilogy, Coruscant's not the capital anymore. It's Hosnian Prime. It was Hosnian Prime. So yeah, like, it's nice to see Coruscant again. Now, I don't know if that's where Karn went. He may have just gone to a different planet, but it may be. I don't know. But we'll get to him in a second. But I like seeing the Imperial Security Bureau, and now Dedra, who, I don't know, just immediately it's like, okay, well, here's someone, like, you could almost say, especially because they highlight that she's only been there for like a year within the Bureau itself, at least on that round table, basically. I feel like they could sort of position her as another Karn type, so I'll be curious, because you already introducing a character like that, it's an interesting choice when you already have a character like that, because you have Karn, so I'll be curious. Maybe what we could lead up to is, if Dedra needs to, she's gonna do something, and it's like, well, I need somebody who can help me, who knows to do the right thing or something like that, someone who will do what we probably shouldn't do, even though it's the right thing. Or I don't know, I don't know how to phrase this, but basically, what if she hires Karn? That'd be interesting, And so that whole thing was interesting, her interaction with the other lieutenant there, and okay, what was it? Partagaz, Qyburn, basically. I really like him, so that was interesting. And then we had Karn, who was sent home, and apparently his mother, while not happy with him, is just glad that he's home and safe. And they all got chewed out for that. And it's exactly what the chief inspector said. Like, this could lead to a whole thing that already their murders were. It was already terrible, their murders, because it's in a place, it's in a brothel that we shouldn't have. They shouldn't have been able to afford it. They shouldn't be doing this and that. It was like, it would have already looked really bad. But adding on top of that, this whole fiasco where 4 of the corporate security died, like, that is an absolute disaster. So it's like, on the one hand, it's like, well, I'm kind of with Karn because he was doing the right thing, but it's like, you did go do what probably was the right thing, and 5 people technically died. 4 corpos and 1 Tim. So, but and then Luthen, I gotta say, that whole thing with the disguise, where it's like, okay, this is his cover, he's covering as a flamboyant antique shop owner, basically, on Coruscant. I really did like that. And just the fact that there's an antique shop, because the first 3 episodes were good. Here's, common folk doing common folk things, and that's interesting in Star Wars. But it was also, all right, here's like a scrap yard. Here's some people, doing parts. Here's Bix. She's taking stuff apart. And it's like, I have seen that so many times, which is why, and this just came to my mind, and I don't know how many people are going to agree. Probably nobody's going to agree, but one thing that I kind of vaguely like in the Book of Boba Fett was the modders who would, mod themselves with droid parts. That is something different, A bit weird on Tatooine, but it's something different, It's something like, all right, this is what the youths do. Did they fit into the Book of Boba Fett? No, but it's something different. But this I liked better, that it's like, here's an antique shop. A shop of antiques. My God, how did it take over 45 at this point? How did it take 45 years to just see a shop in Star Wars? My God. And that's the thing. I'm down for world building like this, because even in like Rebels, when you go to Lothal, And it's like, okay, what do people do on Lothal? Well, they either run a bar, they work at Imperial, factories or something, or they sell, Melurons. You get nothing else, But here we have Luthen, even though, yes, this is his cover, especially for talking to people like Mon Mothma, but it's a shop. I love it. It's a shop. And yeah, Mon Mothma is here too. That was pretty cool, and she's being watched, but she wants to bring someone in. I'm wondering if that's going to be Bail Organa. That'd be pretty cool. And then that would kind of line up perfectly, because where last we saw him in these shows was Obi-Wan, which was only about 5 years earlier, So yeah. But that's really interesting. And I like, because at first I was like, oh, well, is she not in it yet? But yes, she is. They just needed a place to talk quietly. And then I like, though, when her husband absolutely screws up, like, bruh, why would you invite her political adversaries to dinner? Like, even if it's like, oh, well, they're going to be on the other end of the table, like, dude, she fights these people in the Senate. Why would you do this, But I like that little moment where it's like, oh, I heard a rumor that you got me a present. And it's like, yep, it's going back. Like, idiot. Like, I don't know. But yeah. But that was really good and really interesting. So, yeah. And yeah, that was pretty much it. Really, really good, interesting episode. And I'm excited to see where we're going with this, presumably, this story arc. So yeah, guess I'll see you guys next week. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist for all of my Andor reactions, as well as another playlist for all of my Obi-Wan Kenobi reactions if you want to go check those out. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.